Can we just send this car to the junkyard now? So I'm gonna take it back home and that's it. Welcome guys to another one of my absolutely crazy videos. Every time you see me post a video, you just have no clue what it's gonna be about. I have quite a bit of catching up to do with a lot of the projects that I've previously posted on my channel. Life has just hit us hard all summer. What can I say? Kind of the least of my worries is trying to break out some videos, but I do want to keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it, and you're gonna see some more coming in the future. But I got a good opportunity to make one on something I just recently purchased. So, people that know me personally know I just hate electric cars. I absolutely hate them. I think they're the dumbest thing ever. But I decided just to kind of jump into this just to kind of see what I can do with it. Yeah, I know the Chevy Volt is actually a hybrid car, but it has the EV capability of being able to drive only on battery power for a certain amount of miles, like 30, 50, maybe 60 miles or something like that. Also, have you noticed that the Magic Lantern gravel isn't all gravel anymore? This is brand new, fresh poured like last week. Man, it is going to be such a game changer for me. I'm so excited about the concrete. Oh man, you have no idea. Well, let's jump into this little Volt. Let's see what we got here. Now, I will tell you, the car has been sitting for several years. I'm not sure exactly how long. It is completely dead. 12-volt battery's dead. I don't know. Let's just see. I did research a little bit about what to do, and I'm going to do something initially, something you're probably not supposed to do, but we just want to see if there's any life in this little car at all. If not, scrap. This is no good. You know, I don't want to spend a lot of money on hybrid batteries and expensive inverters or even an engine or who knows. So let's just kind of poke at it and see what we can do. Check out my little Sonoma. I still have it. I still love it. I rock it like every single day. It's been absolutely reliable. It was a really good trade. I know, like on paper, if you go back and you watch the episode of the Sonoma and the Tracker, on paper it was a bad trade. It really was. But for me personally, it was just fantastic. Best thing I've ever done. The little truck just goes. I drove it to Florida. It's just an awesome little truck. I just wish it had more paint on it. The paint, it just looks like a white trash driving around in this thing. Okay, like I said, just letting you know before you guys really eat me alive in the comments. Yes, honestly, probably the best thing to do is just to just go buy the right battery for this car and just install it versus trying to jump it. The reason for that is you get voltage spikes, you get all this weird stuff going on. These cars have sensitive modules in them. All modern cars just have sensitive modules in them. It's never ever a good idea on any kind of modern car basically to do what I'm doing with a stone dead battery. In this particular case, I don't really care that much because I don't really have any money in this little car, and I just want to see what it does before I spend a dime on it. I don't want to go buy a $200-something battery, put it in the car, realize the car is completely junk. All right, still nothing. Okay. All right, just jiggle the cables again. I heard it ding. All right, we got power. It started. It says 38 miles. Low. Engine not available. right, shut it off. Okay, start it again. Just put it in drive and nothing. Check engine light, it won't rev. I don't know how these cars work, so don't. Got power steering. 168,000 miles. Propulsion power is reduced. Okay, the engine does run. It just started right up. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I just have a very simple OBD2 scan tool, and I know this car is way more sophisticated than that. I might have to call a buddy or something to see if he's got a good scan tool for this car. I mean, really and truly, like, that's really the first thing you need to do when you have a car that's got all kinds of problems in it. Get a really good scan tool and hook it to it and kind of see what data is giving you as far as fault codes and all kinds of stuff like that. All right, I got this old, very generic, very Chinese scan tool. It does medium duty trucks. I think that's the only reason why I got it. Yeah, a whole bunch of modules to choose from. Read stored codes. GM. Crank positioning sensor. Hybrid powertrain control module. Okay. Let's just clear it. Okay, check engine lights off. No idea what it's doing. Power down finally. Alright, check engine light's gone. Still won't go anywhere. Maybe I need to shut the door. Nope. And it just shut down again. I cleared all the codes out of every module I could with my cheap scan tool. Alright, starts again. Propulsion power reduced. No drive. And it just shuts off. Engine not available. I guess I just got to take that risk and just go buy it a battery. And I need to get a hold of my buddy and see if I can get a good, like an actual professional scan tool and go through it. From what I read, there's like codes that are just buried deep in these things. Like in the high voltage control module, there's a couple codes that need to be reset before it can actually go forward. So yeah, this is why I don't like stuff like this. It's very difficult for somebody just to kind of go in and fix it by themselves on their own. You just can't. But hey, we're not gonna let all that stuff get us down. I don't go defeated. I am going to fix this little car. That's just what I do. I put the effort in it and I make it happen, unless it's something completely not worth it, like I have to spend $8,000 on a hybrid battery or do a major amount of work to it. Then it's just not really worth it to me. But if it's simple little things that can be fixed and get this little car back on the road, we're gonna do it. So next step here, let's run down a few parts and a scan tool, and we will resume our Volt quest. So I did end up running to the parts store to get a crank positioning sensor for the Volt. Now, I was gonna buy a battery, but I'm still kind of up in the air about this little car, and I'm just gonna put a battery that I have laying around in this car. Now, I know that they really recommend to put the exact battery in this car, but we're just gonna try it. It may be fine. Let's get to it. Let's put the battery in it and let's put this crank sensor in. Let's get to it. Here, AC Delco, made in Germany. I'm pretty sure it's original. All right, so I very half-assed like put a marine battery in it. Let's just see what it does. All right, so it fires up with a battery in it. So anyway, let's change that crank sensor now. It's given a code on the generic scan tool. I was able to actually call my buddy and borrow his scan tool, so we're gonna run over there. But we are gonna change that sensor out before it gets dark. Genuine AC Delco. Jack stands for a genuine GM car. All right, kind of more of what I expected, but you can kind of see, but we do have some wires that are chewed up by some sort of animal, maybe a rat, rodent, squirrel, who knows. Yep, there we are, some wires that are chewed up. It's kind of what I was semi-expecting from a car that's been sitting. So one wire goes to the crank sensor and 2 wires go to the knock sensor, I believe. And I pulled the connector off the knock sensor, so we're gonna have to repair that too. So it's probably not really the crank sensor that's bad. I just gotta do some wiring repair. I don't like doing this. Can we just send this car to the junkyard now? All right, I was able to get up in there and twist that wire together. There's one wire, black wire, that went to the crank sensor, and it was chewed in 2. The rest of them seem to be intact. They probably need to be repaired a little better. Let's just see if it'll stay running. That's all I care. All right, got the battery reconnected. I'll say 42 miles. Come on, baby, keep running. It's not running real good. All right, it seems to stay running. Let's see if it goes into neutral drive. I might have had a little bit of choppy video, but my battery was going dead in the GoPro and it was doing weird crap. It's running. It's sat here and ran for, I don't know, a good 2 or 3 minutes. So anywho, 2 things. Let's put it back on the ground and see if it'll actually drive and fill up the tire. And I hate GoPro. It just freaking stops. Like the battery says it has like 50-something% in it, and it just quits. I tried 3 different. All right, I know my tires are like crazy low. They got air in them. I forgot. I need to like, it does all this weird stuff. I need to hook up my air compressor from the concrete job. All right, it's telling me to hook up my charger. Oh, we're moving forward. I wonder if it's gonna leave us stranded. So it's driving. It really wants me to fill up the tires. Look, there's no engine. It's weird. Alright, well, that's filling up. I'm gonna fill up the tires and then I'm gonna run. I called my buddies, and one buddy has a charger for one of these Volts, so I'm gonna go pick it up, and my other buddy's got a scan tool, so I'm gonna go pick it up as well. It doesn't show that there's any fault codes, but we're gonna scan it anyway, just because. Let's see if the battery will charge. That was the last known problem, is the battery wouldn't charge at a supercharger. So we might need the scan tool anyway. So I'm gonna go run and get that stuff, and it'll probably be dark when we get back, but we will play with this little car some more here in a little bit. What do you think of your new Chevy Volt? So I'm getting you for Christmas.
So funny.
I'm gonna stuff it under the tree. Or the dumpster. All right, we are back and it is dark. Like I said, I did fill up the tires and I did take it down the driveway just a little bit, as you've seen. That's all I really driven it. I'm kind of afraid to venture off too far with it because I don't want it to leave me stranded. So I do have the scan tool and I have the charger for it. So I think first thing we're gonna do is just the easiest thing. Let's just plug it in and see if it's actually gonna start charging and takes a charge. All right, I've seen this like on TikTok or something. something you're supposed to do to open it. Oh wait, I'm not that dumb really. All right, enough kidding. Let's see what happens. And I heard a click on that. It honked at me. Oh wow, okay. It says charging. So, okay, well the battery is indeed charging. So that was supposedly a problem with this car. It would not charge. It says range 0 miles, which is understandable. Look, 11:30 a.m. All right, so this thing is plugged in. It is actually charging. So we have the scan tool here, and let me get into a menu with it, and let's just see what we can find out with this little car. I got it scanning pretty much all the control modules now. We're just gonna clear everything and see what comes back. That's when you get a very unknown car, it's just best just to clear everything out and then just go drive it and see what comes. So that's what we're gonna do pretty much. Welcome to Chevy Volt. All right, she started. It's actually running off of engine power. Check engine light's back on, but I'm pretty sure it's because of that knock sensor. All right, here we go. Oh, here's that rust on the brakes. All right, a lot of my video footage cut out because GoPro is a piece of crap. But no, I got to the gas station. It did fine. It has some serious square tires going on. It does what it's supposed to do. The battery's very, very low. Yeah, here we go again. We're going back to the house. The tires, man. Oh, geez. I'm hoping it will kind of square out. I don't want to buy tires for this car. We're just gonna park this thing out here. All right, I guess for y'all that know me, I guess it's so cold outside that hell finally froze over because I'm actually doing this number right here. All right, we got the green light on the dash and it says it's charging. Battery's at 0% still. All right, it's been a successful day with this little car. It didn't really take a whole lot. So tomorrow, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let it sit here and charge, see what kind of battery status we're at tomorrow. Assuming it charges at least a little bit, we will go to a supercharger just for the heck of it and see what happens. Supposedly that's what was wrong with this car, is the battery didn't charge. So even though it says it's charging, the green light's on, everything says it's on the go, there's no codes, I'm still not gonna call it until tomorrow until we see some percentage on that gauge. I'm just gonna stop you right there and we will check in tomorrow. Here we are on a nice gray colored Tennessee winter day, and we've been having the Volt charge all night, so let's see what it's got. All right, little car, it says fully charged, 28 miles. That's not really that great. All right, I got in a little car and it says 28 miles of battery charge. All right, here we go. On electric only. Battery's fully charged. All right, I made it down the drive and it still says 28 miles. That's the thing, that's the catch with some of these older electric cars, is the range goes down drastically when the battery's not as good. And we're still running on all electric right now. This thing's so dirty. I look like some kind of EV hippie that doesn't ever wash their car. It's so eerie when you come to a stop and there's no engine running at all. Like, to me, not ever really being in EVs at all, I feel like, oh God, what's wrong, you know? The car died on me. Here we are, we're gonna run into Home Depot. All right, so good news. I made it all the way to Home Depot, and it went from 28 miles of range to 19 miles of range. It is, according to my map, exactly 10 miles from my house. So it made it from my house to Home Depot in nine miles of range. So to me, everything's functioning properly. The gauges are correct. I don't know really what these things are capable of doing. If that's all they are capable of doing is like close to 30 miles on a full charge, but either way, it's accurate. Most older EVs will start, the range will start dropping faster than what you're actually going. So either GM has got their battery life gauges figured out and they work very accurately, or the batteries are still considered really, really good in this thing. I got what I needed here at Home Depot, and oh, welcome to Volt. Anyway, let's go see what this thing does at a charging station. The one thing I've always told myself when cars like this were coming out, you'll never be able to like pull them out of the woods and squirt some starting fluid in them and get them to go and actually operate again. I'm kind of backing up on that because technically this car sat for a long time, not necessarily in the woods, but it did have rat chewed up wires on it. It sat, it had issues, yada yada yada. Here we are driving it, and it's a 13-year-old car. 40, what the heck are people doing? Jeez, I had the green arrow. Oh man, there we go. Got a charging station right here. Vehicle charging. Oh man, I feel so special right now. All right, we made it to Home Depot and then came back. I'm only about 3 miles from my house right now, and I have 9 miles of range left. Let's see how quickly that charges back up with this charging station. Price free. It's charging. Okay, it says it's charging at 3.2 kilowatts. Again, I have no gauge on any of this stuff because I don't really know. But according to the car, it's charging at 240 volts. The charging will be complete by 10 p.m. So I googled it. The max range on the Chevy Volt when it was new in 2012 was 35 miles on battery charge. That's not too bad considering this car has 168,000 miles, almost 170,000 miles. It is now probably 13 years old because we're going into the 2025 year model of cars. So a 13-year-old car with almost 200,000 on it or 170,000 on it, I mean, only losing 7 miles of range, that's not that bad. So this little car, I mean, I'm not necessarily sold on a Chevy Volt. I'm not a big EV guy. The car doesn't really strike any interest, really. I don't think I'm gonna keep it. In fact, I'm gonna tell you something about this car. There's some title issues with it, so honestly, this car is just going bye-bye. I'm not keeping it. I'm just gonna move it along. I probably wouldn't have done any of this stuff to it to even see it, or even would have bought it if I'd known that it was gonna have title issues. But I already started getting invested in it with video, so I decided if it's nothing crazy, let's just go ahead and get it running and finish it out. Now I have a lead on another one. Another good friend of mine who actually let me borrow the charger, the home charger, has one that is just sitting dead in his lot for his business. And I might end up with that one too. So if it needs parts or something from this one, I might still just, you know, part this one out for that one or something, who knows. So the fate of this one is not looking good. It is probably gonna be a parted out or scrapped car. That's why I'm not gonna drive it very much. I just drove it to Home Depot, and then I'm here by the park by my house, and I'm gonna take it back home, and that's it. One thing we haven't done is a launch. Oh boy, that is nothing to write home about at all. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was definitely something different. Next time we'll probably be back on boats. Again, let me know what you guys like to see from me. I don't have anybody really commenting on any of my videos at all, and don't really have that many views, so it's not very intriguing to keep doing this to me, but I'd like to do it just as a hobby. So just like and subscribe, try to share and tell your friends and stuff if you like what you see. Anyway, until next time, I'll bring you some more junk.